We ask God to watch over the Kendrick family, as well as all of our veterans and their families. Remind us always that freedom, peace, and possibility can and will triumph now and forever. God bless America. God bless our veterans. Amen.
Now, to make a few remarks and present a proclamation to the family in honor of Eugene J. Kendrick, I have the pleasure to introduce a fellow veteran who is currently still serving in the New York Army National Guard, the Albany County Executive, Daniel P. McCoy.
So I do want to say, though, it is an honor to stand here, to look at the people that are here, and to the dignitaries that are here to say, thank you. And all his service out in the community, seeing him when he was out for, taking pictures and doing his job. And the #1 fan of all your kids' sports, and to the grandkids, to the 7 grandkids, says a lot, and the love of playing golf and bowling and everything else. And then the struggle with ALS, to retire and then 2 years later to find out you have ALS and succumb to it in 18 months, and just living through that with my sister-in-law, who had it for 15 years and died at the age of 51. It's not an easy thing for the family. It's not a real easy thing. And to go through what he gone through to serve in this country and then have to fight another war, it's a lot. A tribute to you, to your children, to your grandkids. So it's an honor to stand here to recognize such an extraordinary man for what he did in the community, and probably the thousands of beautiful pictures he's left behind. I can't imagine the scrapbooks that you have. But again, someone that really people could look up to in the community and lead by example. So thank you for letting me recognize him.
He selflessly gave of himself well after his involvement in community that really strengthened the fabric of our community. So we say thank you to him. In tribute to him, in honor of him, in memory of his life and his being, to Specialist Eugene J. Kendrick, we ask that a flag be flown over our nation's capital. And I have a certificate here of the date when it was flown, and it was my honor to do so. So may he continue to rest in peace, and may you be comforted by the fact that he served his nation so well. God bless him.
I can't express to you how much I treasure the fact that there are friends of mine, relatives of mine, and members of our community who fought to make sure I could be here today. And I had the option. I could be anywhere I wanted. And that's not because of me. It's because of the sacrifices of your husband, your father, your grandfather. And I hope that I continue to be a part of this process so it can drive into me a little bit of humility.
Being married for nearly half a century, raising your family, continuing those traditions, passing it down, and then enduring an incredible, painful, and lethal disease. And all the time, continuing to give back, not being resentful. He was a hero. He was a hero, and I'm grateful to be a part of today's ceremony and have the opportunity to carry on his tradition of giving back.
I love these events. I too am grateful to Congressman McNulty, as well as Congressman Tonko and County Executive Dan McCoy for continuing this event, because I think it is a wonderful way to start the month, to allow us to reflect, but also allow us to say thanks. And as you've heard today, we weren't always grateful. We weren't always thankful to those who have served this country, especially the Vietnam veterans. And I'm old enough to remember that mistreatment. And so I too am grateful that 50 years later, we can somehow, in some small way, make amends.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity to remember Gene. We share, of course, and celebrate his service to the country, but his commitment. And commitment is really what Gene is all about. Commitment not only to his 42 years at WMIT, the 49 years of marriage, and being around. I remember seeing Gene at a lot of the kids' events and things like that. He truly epitomizes what we celebrate. Service to our country, commitment to our family, commitment to our faith.
I hope that this gathering here has given you some small sense of how much that service is respected, how grateful we are for it, and how important it is. And so today, I have declared today, April 3rd, to be Eugene J. Kendrick Day in the city of Albany. And please accept our deepest, deepest gratitude for your husband's, your father's, your grandfather's service to our country. Thank you.
It is truly an honor to be here to recognize the service of Eugene Kendrick. And there's nothing like going last, so you get being the newest person probably to the Albany area, I get a lot of the context. As eloquently spoken, it's the 50th anniversary at the end of the Vietnam War. And I spent this last week, I was sharing with you, down in Washington, D.C. for a personal event for my own Vietnam veteran, my father, who rest in peace at Arlington National Cemetery. And I will tell you, the Vietnam veterans, for me, and for a lot of our younger service members, taught us really how to cope through our service and what that means and how to answer the nation's call. And so reading the bio for Eugene, you notice that he was called to service by his country and answered the call of duty in the fashion of the Army values of loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage.
My father's priority was always his family. He was a devoted husband, as we said, almost 50 years, just shy of 50 years. Loving father, certainly to me and my 3 siblings. But the thing that really, brought an immediate smile to his face was any one of his 7 grandchildren. He doted on them, attending concerts, recitals, sporting events, whatever they had going on, he wanted to be there. He was their biggest fan, and they brought him the most joy. So on behalf of my family, again, I just want to say thank you, certainly to Albany County, to the committee, all the veterans, and active duty, as we said, my son-in-law, my new son-in-law, in the U.S. Air Force. But it means a lot because my father didn't speak a lot about his time in the service, especially to me. I think it wasn't until later in life that he talked a little bit more about it. He proudly wore his Vietnam veteran hat and his shirt, and I know he was especially touched when anyone thanked him for his service because, as we said, they didn't really get that when they returned from Vietnam. So, again, thank you to the committee, and a special thank you to Albany High School and the LaSalle cadets serving as our honor guard, and certainly all the veterans in active duty that joined us today. Thank you very much.